go have some fun.
At a certain point, you're no longer really giving your feedback about a game, you're just kind of complaining about the way the game is and the way the game is designed. I totally understand that Black Ops 4 is not your traditional Call of Duty game, nor should it be treated as such. At this point, if you don't like the style of the game and where the game is going and how the game plays, just don't play it. That's honestly all I can say. The style of Black Ops 4 has been cemented with the addition of Zero. It's not going to change, so I'm just kind of complaining here. I'm not giving my feedback, and I know this is just the way the game is. I just wanted to state something that I think we're all thinking. If you have a problem with that, that's fine, you're entitled to that. But I don't really want to see any comments telling me you're just bad, then don't play the game, because honestly, I haven't really been playing the game that much. I'm not going to explain everything that Zero is capable of in Black Ops 4, there are tons of videos out there for that. Here's what you need to know. She can hack individual players and kill streaks and certain pieces of placed equipment. This will either turn it against you or disable it depending on what it is. She could turn your attack helicopter against you, she could destroy your gunship, she could disable your drone squad with her EMP grenade, she has the ability to completely screw up your heads-up display. And this is funny because one of the last videos I made, I was talking about how Black Ops 4 de-incentivizes me to get better at it. I don't feel like I want to get better at Black Ops 4 because I just feel like there's so much stuff in the game that can just shut you down. What's the point of going for long streaks if somebody can gravity slam you because they don't want to win the gunfight normally? They just hit the two buttons, you get war machined off your spawn, you're about to get an attack helicopter, and then your friend gets hit by a Tempest right next to you, and the electricity chains to you, and then it ends up getting you killed, or you go to flank, you get seeker droned. I've complained about this way too much. But now, even if you do succeed, you do get a gunship, you do get a helicopter, all somebody playing as Zero has to do is save their hacking tablet for when you have that streak. Yes, a dumb player might just call it in the moment they earn it, which would be ridiculous and silly, but if I was going to play a Zero in a match of domination, TDM, control, I would just hold on to it until they start getting streaks, and then call it in. What are they gonna do? I don't even need a direct line of sight to the streaks in order to hack them. It's not like a Black Hat from Black Ops 2 or 3. I can spawn inside the bathroom on firing range and then just hold the buttons and there you go. I'm not going to over exaggerate and say she's going to do this all the time. Every time you get a streak, Zero's gonna come in and screw up your day. That's not true. It's just that now when you play Black Ops 4, your equipment has a chance to stop working, your streaks have a chance to turn against you or to be destroyed. Very easily as well. Two people with rocket launchers could already pretty much do this, but they really couldn't turn attack helicopters against you. I originally thought that Zero was just going to counter other specialists, that's at least what I was kind of hoping for. I didn't realize they were going to add something else into the game that makes me even less excited to go for streaks. I'm almost impressed. And she can't hack everything. I don't want to come off as if she's just ruining the game. Zero doesn't ruin the game as a specialist, but she's making it that much more inconsistent and you're that much less rewarded for getting high streaks. Like I said before, Black Ops 4 makes me feel like the shoe is constantly going to drop and I'm constantly in fear of getting fucked outside of my control. And now, even if I maintain control, there's still a chance that the thing that I earned will be destroyed or turned against me. If you're gonna play OBJ game modes, I feel like Zero is kind of a necessity. Saving up her specialist weapon and her equipment is just going to be the thing to do. You just save it until something is on the field you don't want to be on the field, and if it's hackable or EMPable, there you go. She doesn't affect everything in the game, but she affects enough things that just, tosses it on its head. I'm just gonna be reiterating this, I guess, because that's the problem I have with her. The game becomes more inconsistent and potentially less rewarding when an enemy is playing as Zero. I mean, they can tweak her so that maybe everybody on the enemy team hears when you're about to hack something. Like they hear like an enemy specialist is hacking your equipment, here's her location, it'll show her on the minimap or something when she's hacking, so maybe she needs to work with a teammate to cover her while she does the hacking. They can make it take more time, they could reduce the amount of things she has effect on. I wish that Black Ops 4 would have focused on gunplay, would have focused on fun, interesting engagements, on interesting maps. I wish they would have done that, because these specialists are starting to rule the game to a point that it's not fun for me. And this is totally subjective, it's for me. Maybe Zero doesn't affect the game at all to you. You think she's a great addition, and that's great, more power to you. I see little incentive to get better. I see little incentive to go for long streaks. I see little incentive to treat this game seriously. When my friend and I would play Super Smash Bros., he would always turn the items to their max spawn rate. I don't remember exactly how to do it. I've really never owned those games. I always played them at his house. But he would always set up the matches so like the maximum amount of items were available, and they were like spawning they were spawning in like crazy, and you could just use a shit ton of them. There's just items all over the goddamn stage, and I got tired of that, but I realized why he liked it was because those items would help him win, because if he was able to grab a star or a hammer or anything that could, kick my ass, that's what he would go for. Then he wouldn't have to fight me one-on-one, he could just use these different items, and that's kind of what Black Ops 4 feels like to me. Not as dramatic as that, but it feels more like that than I would like. I'm not supposed to care about staying alive, I'm not supposed to care about getting kill streaks, I'm not supposed to care about my score or my kills. I just need to make sure that I win this ungodly battle of attrition. It makes it more in line with max item Smash Brothers or Mario Kart when you're in first place and somebody gets a blue shell. You're not really supposed to take it too seriously. It's more inclusive in the sense that it allows people of low skill levels to get quad feeds and multi-kills and double kills. Good players still prevail in Black Ops 4, and if I was better, I definitely would have more fun. I'm just gonna go right out and say it. But Zero is kind of the straw that broke this camel's back. It's kind of the, oh, I'm really not supposed to care about how well I'm doing, because you keep adding things that throw me the fuck off. You add things that disorient me, you add things that throw me off my game, hold me in place, kill me instantly, kill me easily, take out my kill streaks. I just starting to feel like I'm not supposed to really care when I play your game. I've always liked Call of Duty because it's always been a competitive game. It's always been who's the better player, who's faster, who's more accurate. And I don't think Call of Duty lost that in Advanced Warfare, or Black Ops 3, or Infinite Warfare, or COD World War II. I feel like it's starting to lose it with Black Ops 4, because now we're going beyond the occasional easy kill, the occasional bullshit moment. We're going into a system where you will be rewarded if your enemies don't have an ability charged up that will destroy your reward. You will be rewarded if you are fighting during a time that your enemies don't have something set up that immediately throws you off your game. So if you disagree with all of that, and I'm trying to include more of these segments at the end of my commentaries, if you disagree with all of that, all of those things I said, you think I'm stupid, you think I'm just a rambling noob, fine. You can't argue with this. They have added more variables that are out of your control than any previous Call of Duty game. So if you are wondering why me and people like me are kind of annoyed with Black Ops 4, it's because we're tired of the crazy amount of variables in play in such a fast-paced game. And the fact that these variables have a pretty low-risk, high-reward factor makes the game feel less serious. Call of Duty's always been kind of a casual competitive game, but as they keep adding these things and as I play it, I feel like I'm taking part in something equivalent to a food fight, than compared to something more like an organized paintball match or airsoft or Nerf battle. Anyway, this wasn't really a rant, I just wanted to get this off of my chest. This was on my mind, I wanted to talk about it. I was sick for a week and I wasn't really playing Black Ops 4, so I was just doing a lot of thinking about Black Ops 4, and I have come to the conclusion that I even have less of an incentive to get better at Black Ops 4 than I did before Zero released. Because now there's one more thing that can potentially throw my achievement, my award, out the window. Anyway, I'll see you when I see you. Goodbye.
Talk about a fucking power position, Jesus Christ. not even like we can run around because the four of them are just in that room.